is one of the most powerful feature in Pandas, but it's also one of the most misunderstood one. Many people use GroupBy without really knowing what Pandas is doing behind the scenes. In this video, we will understand how GroupBy actually works and how analysts use it to extract insights, not just numbers. So, this is a typical employee dataset, exactly the kind used in real projects. We already work with it, and okay, so we are moving to the core idea behind this. Every GroupBy operation follows 3 steps that are split the data into groups, apply a function to each group, and combine the results. So once you understand this GroupBy, it becomes very intuitive. Okay. So here Pandas, we are going with GroupBy, which is the warm-up. Okay. So just refreshing that df dot, we are using GroupBy department and salary dot me. So here Pandas splits data by department calculation, and it also calculate the mean salary for each group and combine the results into a new series. So it's just the department name and the salary, okay, which calculate the salary for each groups. Okay. Now as we look here, it is really different from this because we used mean. Because of that, we got a salary like this. Okay. As you know, mean is average calculation that done here. Okay. So while we're doing it, we need multiple aggregations. Okay, we just don't need to group two of it and get its mean, but we need more from the data set. Okay. So for that, I'm using df dot group by department salary, and now we are adding aggregation. That's AG with a parenthesis, then square bracket, add mean, min, max. If you need, we can add some, but now we are adding 3 of this. Okay, then run. So in real analysis, one metric is rarely enough. So this gives us a fuller picture, average, minimum, and maximum salary per department. So this is enough. But we can use GroupBy on multiple columns also. Okay. Now we just used 2 of it and then understand its minimum, maximum, and mean. Okay. Now we are going to do with multiple columns. So for that, I need to GroupBy, use GroupBy df dot GroupBy with parenthesis, then department. Okay, we need to also add the square bracket in between. Afterwards, we are giving a comma, then experience. So with that, we are adding the salary dot mean. So now we are grouping by more than one dimension. This is common in business analysis, for example, department and experience levels together. Okay, so here we added both the department experience and the salary. So here you can find the average of each of it through using multiple columns with GroupBy. So this is how the business analyst usually work with GroupBy. And we need to work more with aggregation, that is AGG, with different columns. That was little advanced. Okay, so we already learned about it, but it's a refreshment. Okay, so df dot GroupBy, we are adding department, and then dot AGG open. We need to add the dictionary. That's salary, give its mean, comma, experience, give its max. So here we apply different aggregation to different columns. This is very realistic and reporting pattern. So here we get the finance with the highest salary, I mean the maximum experience, HR with maximum experience, and all of that's average. So this is how GroupBy work with aggregation. Okay, through applying different aggregation to different columns, we can get these outputs. Now, one of the most important concept, that is transform. So let's use transform. So here we are using transform. I just mentioned this because it's important. So df, we are adding it with average salary, and then which is equals to df dot group by, and then department. Also we need to add the salary, and we are using dot transform with mean inside the parenthesis. Afterwards we need to call the df run. So this is extremely important. Okay, with transform, it returns a result aligned with the original data frame. That means we can compare each employee's salary with their department's average. So here the HR is getting a 50,000, but the average salary of an HR is 65. So this helps us to analyze where the salary is lacking and who lack the salary, who has the higher salary, all this. Also, it helps us to, while we search in Google, we found the average salary of people, but many of that get less than 60 here. Okay. So here David get 80. Because of that, the average get 65,000. So here we found of new ways to compare two columns together. That means comparing each salary with their department's average. Okay, that's what we do here. Now we are going to compare the individual's VS group. Okay, so for that I need df and above average salary with which is equals to df salary, and it is greater than df depth average salary. So this is real insights. We are not just calculating numbers, we are answering the questions like who is paid above their department average. Okay, so you can find out Alice is getting 50K, but while comparing David, David is getting about 80K. So here it is mentioned in Boolean. It's true when the salary is greater than the department average. Okay. Also in finance, its average salary is 71K, but Frank pays 78. Okay. So Charlie also gets a salary which is actually less than the average salary. Okay. So these insights will really help in real world projects. So from this, what you can understand who paid above the department average, who get the highest salary, and who is using the best salaries in different departments. We can also find whether the experience can increase the amount of salary or reduce the amount of salary, all that. Here you can find David, who is HR with 8 years of experience are getting 80K, but Alice with 2 years of experience only get 50. So experience matters while calculating the salary. So this is the real insights that analyst should know about. Okay. Now a common mistake, which is important to state. Okay. So if df dot group by with department and salary, okay, we are using it dot apply lambda xx dot mean. So let's give a gap in between. So we already learned about how apply work. Okay. So apply is powerful, but it should be used carefully. It is slower and less optimized than building functions. If the aggregate or transform can solve the problems, then the analyst usually take that as a better option. Only if that fails, we use apply. Okay, because it's a bit slower, but it's still powerful. Okay, so at this level, GroupBy is not about syntax. It's about asking what groups matters, or it will ask like what metrics tells the story. Do I need summary data or row level comparison? All these two. Now we just go through advanced GroupBy internals and advanced patterns. Just using GroupBy with aggregation and apply, transform, all this. So in this part, we learned how GroupBy works internally, how to use aggregation properly, why transform is so powerful, all this. We also understand the need of apply that we discussed previously. Okay. So before ending the section, I just want to share um the big picture of apply, aggregation, and transform. So in Pandas, there are three ways to work on group of data that are apply, aggregation, and transform. So they all do the same to groups, but what they return and when to use them is very different. So we should know before we are quitting this. Okay. First of all, let's talk about apply. Apply is most flexible method in Pandas. It takes a function and applies it to each group as a whole. Like think of apply as here is a group, do whatever you want with it. Okay, let's take an example. If we take df dot group by with department, and then we are adding salary with we are using apply lambda x, then dot max minus mean. Okay, so let's run. Now we get 13, 30, 18, all this. For each department, Pandas give the full salary column to the function. The function decide to do uh, what should it performs. Okay, so this makes apply very powerful. So here we just do a operation. We done a arithmetic operation like max minus min, and we got output. So in Pandas, apply can work this way. And why apply should be used carefully? Because apply is very flexible and Pandas cannot optimize it well. That means it is slower. It uses more memory. So we only use apply when aggregation or transform cannot solve the problem. Now we learned why we really need apply. As we say, it is a flexible method. So we can take it as a function and use it everywhere to each group as a whole. So for easier methods, we can use apply. But as we say, it's something need to work with carefully because pandas make it slower. We get slower output. We need more memory. That's the issue. While working with smaller dataset, it's just like go with the flow. But while you are using a dataset with a lot of columns and rows, that will be a problem. Okay, because of that, we say apply should be used carefully. Okay, now we need to know aggregation. Aggregation, AGG stands for aggregation. It answers one question. Okay. If I ask, give me a summary value for each group. So we can just use aggregation and we get it. Like df dot as we do group by department salary, and we are adding the salary. Okay. And we are using just dot AGG, asking for mean, some, all this. Okay. So here, we get the aggregation. That's we split the data by department, calculates the summary numbers, and return one row per group. So here I use sum. We can use a min or let's use median. So our output is still the same. Let's place it in a as a list. We can place it in square bracket. So we get all this. We can also add the sum into this. Okay. So what happened here? Here the pandas split the data by department. Then it is splitting data by department as we see here finance, HR, IT. Afterwards, it calculates the summary numbers that we placed here mean, median, sum. It is calculating that. Then it returns one row per column. So it returns again one row per column. Okay. So the key rule for aggregation is or AGG is use it when you want totals, averages, counts, min or max. Okay. In such situations. In short, I can say just for reports, summaries, and all. Okay. For that, we really use AGG. And the last thing that we used in groups is transform. Transform is different. It returns a result with the same length as the original data frame. That means every row gets a value. Maybe the rest too won't give that way, but in transform, it returns a result. Okay. So for example, if we take TF and depth average salary, so if you use this TF dot GroupBy, then department, then the salary, then we are using dot transform and mean, like we used before. So now let's call TF again. So now each employee gets their department's average salary. This is how row level comparisons take place. We already got this. We just do it to show the example. And we can understand how each rows can be compared with the help of transform. Now, you may ask why transform is so important. In real world, analysts often ask, is this employee average is above average, or is this product performing better than this category? So these questions need transform. While we comparing a product and its average, we really need that. So we can also separate the experience, as we said above, through row-wise comparisons. The transform help us a lot. Now, the comparison between apply, AGG, and transform. So here is the mindset that you should remember, or we should remember. If we use AGG, summary per group, and if we use transform, it use values per row. While we are using apply, it gives custom logic when nothing else works. So that's all about it. So while we are dealing with AGG, we just need to know it's for summary per group, like totals, average, all that. When we are using transform, we can use it as value per row. We get the value per row. So we can do comparisons and all. And when to use apply? Apply should be used when custom logic we need to use, and the about to didn't work. Okay. So as we see here, we need to use custom logic. We just go through apply only when the about to didn't works because of the memory issues and slower process for larger data sets. Okay, and let's place it under this, or you can just place this under the test. That's fine. But I just place it just to know its codes and how it works. Okay. So that's all for today's part. We learned a lot today, and I know it might be a bit confusing while learning about apply, transform, aggregation, all this. But this is the base and the advanced level, which is mixed up together to make you know how it really works in real datasets and how analysts work with those codes. Okay, so that's all for today. Thanks for listening to our class. We will follow up on rest days with priority dealings and all. So in part 7, we will learn ranking, sorting, and priority-based analysis, and turning data into decisions. Okay, you are doing really well. You are learning your best. So keep going, keep learning, and keep growing. Okay, bye.